Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Chris. Welcome back to Cosmic Culture, the channel where we talk about all the most exciting and anticipated movies. Today, we have a quote directly from Robert Pattinson about the plot of the new upcoming movie, Tenet. It will be one of the first few movies to come out in theaters after all of this that we've dealt with, the coronavirus closing down movie theaters, sets, and TV productions. So it'll be exciting to get into the movie theaters, grab some popcorn, and watch a new movie for the first time in a long while. Now, this movie, Tenet, is a Christopher Nolan movie, and as we're familiar with Interstellar, Inception, and a lot of his other works, they usually have some pretty crazy plots that are hard to follow. And if, like me, you've seen the trailers for Tenet, you're probably thinking, wow, I have no idea what this movie is about. So we'll go over what Robert Pattinson had to say about the movie, and we'll cover it to the best of our ability. It is, of course, a Christopher Nolan movie. If you love to stay up to date on all major movie, television news for the most anticipated movies, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button as we cover them on the channel. Also, click the link in the description below if you'd like a chance to win a pair of AIRPODS Pro. So, for years now, we have watched Christopher Nolan's movies, which are beautifully pieced together, but always have one similarity about them. The ending usually leaves us in a state of shock or confusion, and he's a very, very good director when it comes to setting up these crazy, intense plots that later kind of leave us wondering what exactly happened. Now, Tenet looks to be exactly the same, if not even more, crazily set up to leave us scratching our heads at the end of the film. Here's what Robert Pattinson had to say about the plot. You really think it's going to be a particular type of genre, then it expands into something else and you're like, oh, okay, this is kind of where we're at. Then it just completely morphs into an entirely different genre, which is very, very unexpected. My first impression was it seems like the greatest plate spinning trick you've ever seen. It's putting another plate spinning and another and another and another to the point where it gets really impressive and then it just sort of gets frightening. It becomes a magic trick, this feat of engineering the script. When I first read it, I was just kind of amazed by the ingenuity of the writing. Then, just to think like, how the are we going to make it into an actual movie? Just the basic premise of a certain scenes are so complicated to even understand in your mind, the idea of actually shooting them seemed totally impossible. Luckily, I didn't have to plan it at all, I just had to turn up. So there you have it, and one can only imagine as an actor working for Christopher Nolan it can probably be pretty intimidating. His reputation certainly precedes him, and people really kind of are starting to understand where his movie ideas take us, and that is that we are not ever going to understand it. It goes from genre to genre to genre until at the very end you're just kind of surprised as to where you are. He even described it as a magic trick, and magic tricks are best known for deception, where you're looking in one place and something else is happening. So really we don't know what to expect, and the trailers haven't given us a whole lot as to what this movie is even about. What we have figured out so far is that Tenet is mainly going to be about John David Washington's unknown character who we're unfamiliar with his actual role, but we know they're going to refer to him as the Tenet, and his job will be to assist preventing World War III somehow. As for Robert Pattinson, who we got this quote from, all we know about him is he's going to be playing an important supporting character, and Christopher Nolan hasn't given us much other information except for maybe a name, saying, or we think we may call him Neil. You never really quite know what's going on with these identities. So Christopher Nolan himself doesn't even really know what is going on with the character's identity or his name, so how would we know, at least until the movie comes out? As usual, this movie has been shrouded in mystery, and they've done a very good job of keeping it very close to the chest as to not let any of the huge spoilers out, because a lot of the big revealing moments come towards the end of the movie, and the more leaks and knowledge we have about the movie, well, the less we'll enjoy the Christopher Nolan experience of this movie that is Tenet. But let me know what you guys think. Movie theaters are starting to open up now, and this is going to be one of the first movies to come out new in theaters since they've all been shut. Will you be going to see it, and what do you think is going to happen in Tenet? Let me know in the description down below. Thanks as always to all of you who watched until the very end of the video. If you love to stay up to date on all major movie news, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button as we cover it right here on Cosmic Culture.